Yo, what is up, gang? Welcome back to another video. Now, today we are gonna be ranking. We got another tier list video. We're gonna be ranking the best places to smoke. Now, I'm talking about like rolling up a joint, most likely with the homies, but that's added on there. That's bonus points. But I think we got a pretty good video today. I'm pretty sure 24 different spots. Now, I do need to make a general warning statement. The point of this video is to educate people on places to smoke. If you do take something away from this video, it is to explore and have fun with smoking if you are 21 or older and in a legal state. Make sure while exploring you are safe, follow your laws, and you are in a legal area where you have permission to smoke. No, I just got to say that, put that out there, and we can get straight into this video. So, we got number one here is going to be your bedroom. Now, this is the most chill bedroom I could find. It's kind of gay, but it's the best picture I could find. It's a good area. You're safe, you're comfy, and you're chill. You don't need to worry about getting back home because you're already there. But you are inside, it's gonna smell up. And for that reason, I'm gonna put it in great. It's such a good spot, you got all your blankets, you got your TV or computer, you can just sit there, chill, relax. But, the whole bedroom's gonna smell. Alright, next up, we got the basement. Now, this isn't like some fancy ass man cave basement. This is like a real rough basement, like just concrete walls and no roof. Now, this one personally for me is a classic, but it's not good visually and it's not really comfortable either, but it's strategically smart. You're far away from the house, well, the main living areas of the house, and you got to go by a window or a door. It's nice if you want to smoke inside, but you don't want to smell up the whole house. So for that, I'm going to put it in okay. It's pretty good. But next up, we got the deck / porch. Whatever one you have. Now, this one's a pretty basic good one. It's at your house and it's outside, but you don't always have the best view depending where you live. If you live out in the country on a ranch, then you can get the sunset, or if you live in like a suburban park, you're just looking at your neighbor's backyard. Or, maybe you're up in a high rise on the city, that would be amazing. But you don't need to worry about getting home because you're already there, and it's pretty chill. The only downside is that it can sometimes, you're out to the elements, which I'm going to put that in okay for now. Next up, we got the coffee shops or the smoke lounges, whatever you want to call it. Now, I don't know much about these because I don't live in like Amsterdam or something, but it low-key seems overhyped. Like, why don't you just go out at your house and chill? Unless if you're like getting together with a bunch of people and like trying out new strains or buying and then straight up smoking it right away, it would be good. But I feel like these are overhyped. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in if I have to. I don't have experience on it, but that's just my personal opinion. The next thing we got is going to be the park bench. Now, this may be risky depending on what park you're at. If it's like an open park with not a lot of people and no security, it would be good. But if you got like those public parks with like the police on the Segway going around yelling at you if you're like on a bike or something, then it's gonna be risky. But it's chill. At the park, you got the birds singing, the trees, the water. You get to watch people go by, And, most likely you're going to have a really good view there. And, after the sesh, you can walk around and chill at the park. So for that reason, I'm going to have to put it in great. You even got the bench to sit around. So, all right, next up, we got an open area in the forest. Now, this is one of my favorite spots, especially back in the OG days. The view is amazing. You out in the woods, you're away from everyone, and it's outside, you know. But the thing is, you're out in the elements, obviously, and it might be hard to find a good spot. Now, if you guys have listened to some of my past story videos, you know that I like smoking out in the woods. And, it can be hard to find a good spot, and especially after you smoke, it might be hard getting back. But I'm going to have to put this one in peak. If you have the experience to do this, and you're in the right area, go ahead and do it. Next up, we got the Walmart toilet paper fort. Now, if you guys look up hotboxing Walmart toilet paper fort on YouTube, you'll know what I mean. This is going straight in the ass. Those are for the ones who know. Next up, we got the golf course, straight on the green or teeing off. This is a fire spot if you like golfing, like myself, but it's very high risk because most golf courses are very stingy and strict. You could probably get by saying that it's just a cigarette or a cigar because they let you light up cigars. The golf courses, they rich and they smoke on that good shit. But especially because the golf course that I went to, I used to play I played on my school team, and we went to this rich ass fancy golf course, and it was a pretty nice experience. But they're very strict, and it's all bitch ass old people, so you gotta watch out. That's why I'm dropping this down all the way to okay. It would be way up. It would be in between peak and great, honestly. I would have a hard time deciding between there, but just because of the risk you're taking, it's got to go down to okay. Especially if you get kicked out, because then you're cooked. Next up, we got your bathroom, but at your house, not a public bathroom. Okay, this is a bathroom at your house. Now, I've done this before if you listen to some of my other videos, but it's alright. It is inside, and you got to turn on that fan. It's not really comfortable because you're most likely either sitting on the ground or on the toilet. And if you don't take care of your bathroom, it's gonna smell like shit. Sometimes it's hard to get the smell away, but that's really what the vent is for. And then this is more of like a if I have to situation, obviously. I'd way rather go in the basement or creep open the door and go outside. Next up, we got at the homie's crib. You get to take and eat all their snacks. Good chance you get to smoke their weed, and you don't have to worry about cleaning up after. And you could low-key always stay at their house too. The homie's gonna let you stay over, especially if they're cooked too. And you're gonna be comfy, you're gonna be safe, and you got all the homies over. It's fire. This is one's going straight up into peak. Unless if their parents come over, that's not gonna be good. All right, next up we got the car. I gotta make a warning real quick. Do not smoke while operating a car. It's illegal. But a car can, you can park at a pretty chill spot. But the risk is your car is gonna reek, and the police are gonna be able to smell that. Especially if you get pulled over. You're fucked, and you still gotta drive home afterwards. Which is it's not ideal. Which low key, I'm gonna have to put that in if I have to. It's not the smartest idea. But next up, we got the bonfire. Now, this picture is amazing. I specifically chose this one because you get added points if you got this fire sunset in the background like this picture. all around the bonfire with the homies, is already a peak experience. But you add passing the blunt around, it elevates it to a whole entire another level. You're outside, and you got the nice warm fire to look at, That's why I'm gonna have to put this in peak. It's just such a great experience. Next up, we got the dock. Uh, if you live out on the water, this could be a nice one. You got a nice view. You're by the water. You can hear the water going by. You're outside, but it's most likely going to be windy, which is not ideal if you're trying to smoke a J, which can be annoying. So that's why I'm bumping this down to okay, you know. And you also are most likely at your house, if you have a dock, because I don't see why you'd be driving down to a dock just to smoke. I wouldn't do that personally. But next up, we got the train tracks. Now, this one is one of my favorites, if not the very top. You're outside. It's like the woods, but you have a more semi-clear path back to the roads. It's a lot easier than the woods, but it's pretty much the same experience. One of the downsides is obviously the trains. Now, I've been on the train tracks back in the day, and now I always go walking around town with the homies. It's fire. And we walk on the train tracks a lot. I've only been by twice, and now you pretty much just got to run to the side as fast as possible, try to duck down behind some bushes and cover your ears. Definitely 100% cover your ears. Like, I knew the train was loud, but I didn't know how loud it was until it went by and I didn't cover my ears. That shit actually hurts. But this one's going straight into peak. Might be a little biased there, but I love the train tracks. I got a lot of stories there. One time I had to walk 1.5 miles down a train track while absolutely blasted. That's going to my first video. I low-key don't remember what it's called, but in the thumbnail it says getting geeked in the woods, crazy story, and it explains more on smoking on the train tracks. Go and watch that one. It's fire. All right, next up, gang, we got the public bathroom. Yeah. Now, warning, make sure this isn't relatively allowed, so I wouldn't do this, but, it's very, very high risk, smells like shit, and it sucks. It's not comfortable, and it's not a good view either, and it's pretty hard to smoke, especially if you're smoking a blunt, which this video is more like aimed towards. If you got a cart, it's easy, but this one's going in ass. Next up, we got in the rain. Now, more specifically, like under a pavilion. In the rain, that would go straight to ass. That is easily gonna suck. But if you're covered up, you're outside, and the rain can make like a very cool aesthetic. Hearing the rain drip down and seeing that, that's gonna be fire. But the downside is that it's usually always cold and windy, and you're most likely gonna end up getting wet, especially when going home. Which I'm gonna low-key put that in. I'm gonna just put that in okay. It's not the best, but it's definitely, I would choose that over the stuff and I have to. Next, we got outside of the police station. Now, this one, if you're close, you're either getting locked up, or if you're like semi far away and you're in a legal state and you're over the age of 21, you might get respected for it. But this is going straight in ass. Unless if you're a dumbass, you're not doing this. Next up, we got, now I'm going to hype this one up a lot, but we got a city at night. Now, if you have never saw or walked around a city at nighttime, this is an absolute amazing experience. And this is one of my peak childhood experiences. We were in Savannah, Georgia for a trip, and At night, we were walking around the city, and it was just absolutely amazing. I recommend all of you guys to go out to a city, be safe, and then walk around at night. It's an amazing experience. You know, you are outside, but you're in public, and after you sesh, you guys can go walk around and experience this amazing masterpiece. I recommend it to all of you guys, and I'm putting this one in peak. Next up, we got the creek outside, in the woods. This is, you're gonna have a fire view, and hearing that the trickling water is gonna be amazing. But the thing is, why I'm not putting it in peak is because it's definitely gonna be hard to get to and maybe slippery. That's why I'm slapping this one straight and great. There's a lot of good, but those downsides bring it down a little bit. Next up, we got a parking lot slash your driveway. Now there's differences, but I'm just putting them together because they're both a place where you park your car. You're outside, but you're very much in public, and everybody's gonna see you. It's definitely gonna be uncomfortable, and you're not gonna have a good view. You're looking at like the shopping malls and stuff. So I'm low key. I'm putting this in if I have to. If I got to sesh somewhere, get that smoke on. I definitely pick that over everything in ass. It's not quite that bad. Next up, we got, this is a sleeper pick, but we got the abandoned buildings. This one's gonna be very hard to get to. It might be dangerous, but it's gonna be a fire experience. You get to explore a whole entire ran down building, and after you sesh, going and explore with the homies is going to be fire, but it's low-key gonna be mad scary. I'm gonna have to put this one in great just because of that. Alright, next one, second to last, we got the skate park. Me personally, I love skating, and skating after smoking is just elevates the experience from great to amazing. You are outside, but you're in public. I bet 99% of skaters are chill with smoking, and they'll be chill with you, and they might even join you. But it matters what type of skate park you're at. If this one of the skate parks around me that I've been to is inside of a public park, and there's like workers around it, you're getting your ass kicked out right away. But if you're at like a park it's just a skate park, there's no maintenance, no workers, you can get your sesh right there and you're chill, and then you can just go skate around. So just because of its risk, I'm gonna have to put it in okay. And yeah, pretty chill. Next up, we got the totally fake classroom. Now, do not smoke in a classroom, especially because you're going to be underage. But this is a very, very, very high risk and is not worth it at all. Now, I've actually done this, but not with a blunt, with a cart. Now, I don't think I've mentioned this story yet on the channel, but I wanted to try out the backpack method. So you take a hit from the cart and then you blow it into your backpack. Now, so I took a rip and I was holding it in my lungs. I bent down into my backpack and unzipped it, and I was blowing it in, and I accidentally missed, and there was no room in my backpack, and it just went all over. It was like a huge ass cloud. And luckily, I don't know how, only 2 people saw it. My one friend, which I literally, all the smoke was like surrounding him. And then my other friend was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And me and my other friend, respect to him, but he was like hyping it down. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? Just ignoring it. And yeah, it was very lucky, especially looking back on it, on the repercussions that could have happened. I was, God was blessing me up. especially lucky that I was originally going to do this in the middle of class, and I'm glad I didn't do it because it didn't work out. And the teacher was not in my class yet. He always like uses the bathroom before a class. It was so lucky. All right, guys. Well, that is going to be our tier list. I hope you guys liked this video. I had fun making this, and light up a J with the homies. Sit back, relax, go and watch my other videos. Go and watch that first video if you want to see about smoking in the woods and on the train tracks. And gang, I'll catch you later.